I want to ask a question like, what's gonna happen after we're gonna die and we're gonna be in heaven? And do you think the good people are gonna be good people forever? And what if they started to be doing a lot of sins or committed some sort of sins, just the same way Adam did? So
That's a
yes,
big question, Nor.
yes. Give me a big answer. I'm all ears.
One man told of a story where he saw a vision that
Go ahead.
people were pulled into a camp, and they antagonized them and coerced them continuously to receive a mark. And if they didn't receive that mark, then they were laid out on a table that looked like it had arms, and they were laid down, and some huge muscle bound dude with a black cloth on his head came in with a sword and chopped his head off. And then as that happened, he closed his eyes and he looked at himself dead, and he realized that he his hand was held onto. And he said he looked over and he saw Jesus, and he said it's going to be fine. And then he woke up out of that vision. And another said they went to hell and saw hell and all the torturous things that would happen to the non-believer and the evil and the wicked and the abominable. And when I drove into a tree at 89 miles per hour when I was 16, I saw darkness. And it's like I was in a realm of darkness. And then I saw a face in the darkness. And I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly or not, but it said, you're not worthy to be here right now. And then I opened my eyes, and me and two of my passengers walked out of the wreck. And the next day, I had no pain. I could walk around, and I suffered no pain. I went on to be a martial arts instructor and own businesses and do a lot. You know, I don't know, man. I mean, some people say you're in a sleep until you're brought up from the dead, and then you're before the great white throne for judgment.
Like the concept of that and what's gonna happen to us after we're gonna die is kind of vague.
I don't know.
Like
I think the Bible lays it out pretty easy.
really, like yeah, it's the same with the Quran, by the way. Like we're gonna die, we're gonna be tortured and somehow, and if we are good people, if we are like saying, God gonna give us mercy in our grave. But if we did a lot of crimes, killing people, sins, God will show us nothing
It's
but
really not about uh it
God is
says what can
merciful.
be forgiven and what cannot.
Yeah, but the religious people, I don't want to generalize. I don't want to use umbrella term, but religious people sometimes like they picture God. He's like a monster. Like if you're gonna disobey him, he's gonna break your back. Things like that. It will be hell to pay if you committed a lot of sins. But God is always giving you a chance. Till you're gonna die, you're gonna have another chance. God's always waiting for you to come back. God is great.
Well, what's
God is
happening
great.
on the earth now is people are getting into a perpetual state of backbiting and confusion and derision. And it talks about those times where people will be continuously sinning without stopping. And I can see everyone slowly degrading and eroding away. Other people don't seem as affected by it. And I don't know whether that's a protection over their mind that they have, or if they're complicit and they're just full of a false light. I
Don't you
already
think
know.
people But I got a
Go ahead.
question. Don't you think humankind they misinterpreted the concept of God? Like they started to
Well,
project God.
absolutely.
Why?
Because the height of man's intellect and wisdom is still much, much lower than the folly of God. If he even has a folly, meaning just ridiculousness, like we do in the chat, just joking for fun. You know, we don't even scratch the diamond of perfection, but we're in his image. It's like impetulant
Many
children.
people, many. I don't want to like uh, throw a straw man, but many people in the chat they kind of like contrarian. Like they just want to argue with you for the sake of the argument. They just want to talk, even if they got no background about what they're talking about. They just want to argue. That's it. Some sort of people they
You
like to talk.
that's either from corruption at youth or things that have happened in their life, or they're actually complicit in conspiring because either they don't like you or because they're agents of chaos, purposefully put there to do that thing. You can't tell which is which. I'll give an example. Nikki, if you saw the progression of time a year ago from where we were speaking to where we are now, she's completely changed and become someone different. I've become somewhat different. But for the most part, I've stayed the same all throughout that year, no matter what element I ran into or met. And just for debate is a little bit different, monster. It's a blessing and it's a curse at the same time. Because he said, if you're for me, then the world will not be for you. So I'm not looking for a popularity contest. I did a pure experiment with what I did. And I'm still looking to see how that experiment goes on. I pretty much already know what's going to happen.
For me, just for debate, I just want to test my knowledge. Like I study things and I want to discuss them with people. I want to know, did I understand my religion in a correct way? Am I a true believer? Did my religion is the true religion? Like you gotta test yourself. Like otherwise, you're not a true believer. Did
Right.
you get my drift?
Right.
And it's a good
Yeah, you got to
opportunity to
test your
talk to
faith.
people. Exactly. Like I'm not gonna have this kind of chances to talk to people if they are Christian or they live in the United States. Like it's kind of something new to me, and that's precisely why I was continuously be active there, just to
Did you
understand how
not
people.
find the contrast between the beauty and the horror?
Yeah, I found many things like some sort of people they are beautiful, they got a good face, but they got no manners. Not everything glittering is gold. Many things,
Yeah. Yeah.
and human are ugly. To be honest, human are so ugly. And everyone he got a huge and big, tough beast inside him. And I started to realize, like racism exists in everyone. No one is not racist. Everyone is racist in somehow.
I was never racist against color. Mostly. I was racist against the content of the character or lack thereof. Every time I looked in the mirror, if I did something wrong, it bothered me. It's called a conscience. And a lot of people are losing that.
See, the thing is, like when I created just for debate, I decided to fight racism, but then I realized even our people, even my people, are racist.
Well, it's because
Like
of
I
the
thought only the
traumas.
West are racist.
It's because of the traumas they've gone through. Everyone has really suffered something real, and then people become so it's called disassociated, where they just become apathetic and indifferent, meaning they don't care what suffering someone else is going through. If you can get amusement out of someone else's suffering, you're probably going to hell. That's the truth of the matter.
I do believe, like, if you're gonna be accepted in God's paradise, if you do you think you're gonna be in paradise, Christopher?
I don't know. I don't know. I worry about that every day. I worry about it because I should have studied the scriptures more. But what I have studied out of it, it says that to me, it says I need to do certain things
But why you
just to
think? Why you
get,
think?
just to get
No,
a,
no. Hold up, hold up. Why you think the key to be in heaven is by reading the Bible correctly and understand it and fully understand the Bible? Why you think like that? Why don't you think your deeds are gonna make you in the heaven?
do you have a social security number?
No.
Okay, so then you don't have a number associated to you. You don't have a government over you
Yeah, but I got
that
money.
says your property.
I got money. Like, here is different than yours.
You won't have money for very much longer if you don't choose to bow to the one world order.
You're gonna have a lot of money if you knew how to invest your money.
No, you're not getting it. If you don't bow to the one world order, they're going to take your money. And if you do bow to it, you most assuredly are going to a lake of fire and torment. This is where Jesus said, "Sell all you own and come with me and walk in faith." He says, "I will provide what you have need of." And that's why it says it's easier for a rich man, or it's easier for a